Documents dealing with the American drone program are out there, released by a web news site and a reputed journalist who's been in the past connected with whistleblower or traitor Edward Snowden. You take your pick on which you believe he is. But in this new release, members of the military and even civilian employees could be putting their security clearance at risk if they view these documents. How much damage could they do, and how America uses their drone program against an enemy? Top of the list. Welcome back, the former Marine Intelligence Chief, now military reporter for the Daily News in Jacksonville, North Carolina. Welcome, James LaPorta, back to the Hardline. James, let's start right there. With regard to the Marines and the civilian employees, isn't it fair to say that this is difficult for them? This could be trouble for them, but this is also a lot of trouble if other enemies see these documents, yes?
Well, it depends on who you ask. If it's in terms of the U.S. government, they do not want any of their service members to go to the website is called The Intercept, which is the same. It was a website created by journalist Glenn Greenwald, who used to be at The Guardian, but published a lot of the first Edward Snowden documents from the NSA. But it depends on who you ask. The U.S. government doesn't want their service members going to that website and viewing the documents because the documents are not declassified. They're still classified. In terms of the journalists there, they felt that this source and the journalists writing about this topic was in the public's need to know. So it all depends on who you ask. Okay,
then let's take this just a little step further here. Looking at all this, this comes from apparently these documents, an anonymous source who allegedly still works within the United States government and sheds light on how the U.S. government targets the terrorists. That, to me, seems to be the bigger story here. We've got a mole working in the U.S. government here. Isn't the big deal here that we got to ferret this person out?
Again, it depends on who you ask. If you ask the U.S. government, absolutely, they are. They're probably in damage control mode right now because, especially with the Obama administration and going back to the Bush administration, the drone program is highly relied on in terms of counter-terrorism operations. And that's everywhere from Afghanistan to Iraq, Syria, and Yemen. In terms of the journalists, they feel that, we're just mindlessly killing people and all the evidence to support killing them is collected in secret. And so there is no right to confront your accusers, so to speak.
All right, so here we have the drone program, number one. Couple of minutes I got left. Let me go ahead and hit the other story here. One U.S. Army special op killed in a rescue mission, freed as many as 70 ISIS hostages in Iraq. This is the first time a U.S. service member killed in action during the anti-ISIS ground fight in Iraq. That's number one. Number two, we've got 5 Islamic State fighters detained. Again, it would seem to me that this is a big deal here. It's a tragedy that we had one of our own lost here. But we've now got 5 guys and a whole lot of intelligence that we now have to dig into, yes?
Absolutely. It sounded like this mission came together very, very quickly and went through U.S. Special Operations Command and the Joint Special Operations Command, which is your SEAL Team 6s, your Delta Force guys. But a tip came in, essentially, that they were about to get slaughtered. And there was only, hours before everyone was going to be killed there. So they went in. Yes, we did have one, unfortunately, special operations soldier get killed. But they did detain 5 ISIS members, and they freed up approximately 70 Peshmerga fighters. In terms of those terrorists being caught, the next few days they'll probably be going through a debrief and being questioned from counterintelligence specialists through the CIA, Defense Intelligence agencies like that.
30 seconds I have left here. Do you think, though, that there are the kind of people here that we can learn something from, something important?
That's yet to be seen. I'm not sure it was a prison that they went into. In terms of ISIS's structure, they're decentralized, so it's hard to gain insight into the influence that someone has on which level of ISIS you're examining.
Well, let's go ahead.
Let's
go ahead and put it this way. If you get somebody on the inside, at least now you've got something. Maybe you can get out just a piece or two of information. Might not be bad at this point, because still at the end of the day, it's all about finding and killing the bad guys. James LaPorta, always a pleasure, my friend. Thanks so much for joining us, and we will talk soon. We will stay up on what is happening on these raids, and trust me, it looks as if there may be more. Our sympathies and our prayers for the family who lost a valued member in the fight.